The Cayman Islands are a group of 3 tiny islands in the Caribbean Sea. In this series, we show you some of our favorite places and experiences on the island of Grand Cayman, where Cassandra is from and where we lived for several years. We are Scott and Cassandra, the forever explorers, and these are our Cayman adventures. It's time to grab your mask, fins, and snorkel because we're going to our favorite snorkeling spots around the island of Grand Cayman. One thing that makes Cayman really special is that there are a lot of places where you can just get in the water, swim out there, dive down, and see all the marine wildlife. So we're going to show you where you can rent scuba diving gear, snorkeling gear, and where you can actually get in the water and swim out there and have an amazing time. One of our favorite snorkeling spots on the island is called Eden Rock, located just south of Georgetown Harbor on the southwest side of the island. Eden Rock Diving Center is here, and they sell and rent any equipment that you might need to either snorkel or scuba dive from the shoreline. I actually needed a new mask and snorkel when we arrived and decided to buy rather than rent, and I found the prices and equipment available to be very good. So if you bring your own snorkeling equipment, the dive center here allows you to use the patio and ladder and go snorkeling there for free. They also have a freshwater shower, equipment rinsing tanks, and mask defogger solution that can be used for free. The only challenging part is that the rocks in the area are sharp and there are sometimes relatively large waves, so you need to be careful climbing down the ladder and getting in the water. Once you get in and start swimming away from shore though, the bottom is smooth and the water is deep enough so you don't have to worry about any rocks. After getting in the water, Eden Rock Reef is a straight swim about 500 feet or 150 meters from shore. We usually swim here first and then swim parallel to shore for a few hundred feet or 100 meters to an adjacent reef called Devil's Grotto. During the swim out, we see many sea fans, fish, and small corals along the hard bottom. As their name suggests, sea fans, which are a type of soft coral, wave back and forth in the waves, and watching them can be a really peaceful experience. The first glimpse of a large coral reef like Eden Rock is always awe-inspiring for us. These immense rocky structures that create critical habitat for sea creatures, protect shorelines from large waves, and even build islands are created by tiny soft-bodied sea creatures called coral polyps, many of which are less than 1 centimeter each in size. In healthy, clean ocean water that is not too warm or too cold, these polyps thrive, producing calcium carbonate that builds up over time to create these massive reefs. Swimming over a coral reef like this in crystal clear Caribbean water feels absolutely magical. But to truly appreciate the incredible marine life around the reef, you have to dive down to get a closer look. Here I go, diving down to check out this school of beautiful bright yellow juvenile grunts, and a couple of blue tanks. My son and I took turns diving down to get close-up views of the colorful corals and beautiful fish all around the reef. One of our favorite sights around the reef are schools of Atlantic blue tangs that tend to swim closely in large groups with their beautiful blue color standing out starkly from their surroundings. Another of our favorite sights, and one of the reasons why we love snorkeling at this location so much, is the large Atlantic tarpon that often hang out around the deeper ridges of the reef. These are very large fish, about 3 to 4 feet or 1 meter in length, and it is an incredible feeling to be able to get so close to them. During this visit, we had a very rare sighting that was pretty exciting. We were swimming slowly over the deeper part of the reef when a shadow appeared in the distance, slowly swimming out of the blue depths. This was a spotted eagle ray swimming along the sandy bottom. These creatures are so graceful, slowly flapping their wing-like pectoral fins as they slowly glide through the water. The water was about 30 feet deep here, or just under 10 meters, so the ray appeared much smaller than it actually was. We watched for a few minutes from the surface, enjoying the beautiful tranquility of the graceful dance below. Suddenly, a second ray appeared, and they swam in circles around each other like an underwater ballet. We dove down a couple of times to try to get closer, being careful not to scare them away. As they came up over a ridge of the reef, they came a little closer to the surface, and our son, Michael, dove down to capture a spectacular view of these incredible creatures. Our son also captured videos of several other beautiful and interesting creatures during the visit to Eden Rock, like this young stoplight parrotfish. He also captured footage of several beautiful black triggerfish. And this large male stoplight parrotfish. Finally, he was able to get one more great shot of a large school of Atlantic blue tangs. What a perfect way to end our visit to Eden Rock. Another one of our favorite snorkeling spots is adjacent to a restaurant called the Cracked Conch, located in West Bay, on the northwest part of the island. This restaurant has an oceanside tiki bar and grill called Makabuka. Not only is this a great snorkeling spot, it is an amazing place to hang out, relax, and have great food and drinks while sitting right next to the Caribbean Sea. Right at the back of the tiki bar and grill, they have a ladder that goes down to the water. We usually just snorkel here, but it is also a popular place to scuba dive. It is free to use their patio and ladder for snorkeling if you bring your own gear, or else you can rent snorkeling or scuba gear at the on-site dive shop called In-Depth Water Sports. We always see some interesting creatures here because the water is relatively deep and there are coral reefs close to shore. We always see many parrotfish, like this one, using its tough beak-like jaws to scrape algae off of rocks. We were very excited when we saw this small stingray carefully searching the bottom for food. Seeing a stingray gracefully swim through the water is always a beautiful, peaceful experience. If you haven't already, check out episode 2 of our Cayman Adventure series, where we go to a place called Stingray City and capture incredible footage of giant and gentle stingrays. We were able to dive down to get a closer view of this one, and he didn't seem camera shy at all. One of our most interesting and amazing sightings during this snorkeling trip were these small comb jellyfish that were actually glowing with their bright bioluminescent lights that we could even clearly see in the daytime. Imagine how beautiful it would be to see them at night. We also tend to see a lot of fish out here, which is always exciting. This is a large school of Bermuda chubs. Then, coming from the other direction, we swam right through a school of these fast-swimming barjacks. Looking closer at the bottom, we can see several surgeonfish and parrotfish picking at small bits of food off the rocks. Finally, when swimming back towards shore, we swam through several more schools of fish with barjacks, Bermuda chubs, sergeant majors with their beautiful yellow and black vertical stripes. These are all common species around the shorelines of Grand Cayman, but it is always fun to see them in their world. After a refreshing afternoon of snorkeling and hanging out with the local marine life, one of the best parts of snorkeling at Makabuka is sitting on the beautiful patio for some delicious food and drinks. Some of our favorites are conch fritters and fish tacos, but it is really the ambiance, sitting out by the beautiful water, that makes the experience special. After eating, we always like to walk along the walkways over the sharp, rocky shoreline called Iron Shore, a type of limestone rock formation common on the island that is formed from fossilized coral reefs. Now we are headed to our favorite snorkeling spot along beautiful 7 Mile Beach. This is called Cemetery Beach because parking along the street is in front of the cemetery, and the beach access is a small sandy path that takes us alongside the cemetery to the beautiful beach on the other side. What makes this beach snorkeling spot special is that there are rock formations close to shore that are actually remnants of coral reefs that used to be here in very shallow water, and many fish and other creatures hang out around the rocks. You can even see some of these rocks along the shoreline. There are also some live coral reefs relatively close to shore, and it's an easy swim out to them, especially if you have fins and a mask and snorkel. Swimming straight out from shore toward the reef, we came across some small corals and rocks that had fish around them. It's always fun to swim around these rocks to try to find the creatures that might be using them as a shelter. We found one rocky ledge in shallow water where we saw some long antennae protruding from underneath. I slowly lowered my camera beneath the ledge, and suddenly it was attacked by a very large lobster. The lobster came out of its hiding place, and then after realizing that we were not there to take over its territory, it retreated back into its hiding place beneath the ledge. In another hole beneath some rocks, we found this beautiful spotted trunkfish. These fish are quite shy, so we were happy to get as close as we did. As we got closer to the reef, the rocks and ledges became larger, and we started seeing even more species of fish swimming around. Here is a large mutton snapper with a distinctive black spot on its side. Finally, the larger rock formations of the reef materialized before us, and the fish became much more abundant. Here is a large school of French grunts and schoolmaster snapper with their bright yellow color that adds a vibrant splash to the reef. Recent strong hurricanes and warming water temperatures have unfortunately killed many of the living corals on this reef, and most of what we see are the rocky remnants of these corals. We did find some live coral though, like this large lobed star coral, which tends to be one of the more resilient species on Caribbean coral reefs. Many fish still use the rocky structures as hiding places though, so it's still enjoyable to swim around to see what we can find swimming in and around the rocky ledges. It was incredible to just watch one of these ledges for a while, appreciating the beautiful diversity of fish species swimming by one little part of the reef. Closer to shore, in the rocky area where we found the lobster, were schools of many small fish, including these beautiful orange and yellow squirrel fish that are usually elusive and very quick to hide when people approach. These ones apparently felt safe enough under their small rock ledges. We also found some schools of beautiful French grunts with their vibrant yellow color. Looking closer to the surface, we saw several needlefish swimming by. And then there was a friendly Bermuda chub who thought we might be a source of food. Then down beneath, in the rocky crevices, we briefly saw a grouper before it retreated into a dark hiding place. Here's one more look at our lobster friend before we go. We hope you enjoyed this brief look at our 3 favorite snorkeling spots on the island of Grand Cayman, and that it inspires you to get out there in the water. Happy snorkeling! In our next episode in this series, we will take you to a place that we visit every time we are on the island of Grand Cayman, the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park. This is the only place in the world where you are likely to see wild, endangered blue iguanas, a species that is endemic only to Grand Cayman. We will show you an encounter with one of the largest blue iguanas that we have ever seen, and we will take you all around the Botanic Park, showcasing plants, trees, and flowers that are native to Grand Cayman and other tropical parts of the world. We will see a traditional Cayman home and garden, walk along a boardwalk with trees adorned by incredible flowering orchids, walk through the color garden with lush flowering plants from tropical places around the world, encounter several more iguanas among the beautiful plants and flowers, climb along the trunk of our favorite coconut tree, and so much more. We look forward to showing you this amazing park full of natural tropical beauty.